This is surely the cheapest and smallest electric bike I have ever seen. It is called the DYU C3 and in this video I will tell you everything about it. Opening the box it comes in, we can find another box containing the owner's manual, a warranty card, a set of small plastic pedals, the charger, which is a 32 volts 1.5 amp unit, and lastly we can find a multi-tool, which will come very handy to assemble and maintain the bike. Proceeding with the unboxing, we can remove the seat post and unpack it, before taking the whole bike out. As you can see, it comes very well protected and about 90% assembled. Mounting it to a bike stand allows to easily remove all the packing material and complete the assembly. The bike immediately gives a sense of sturdiness and seems very well built. The first thing we needed to do is to mount the rear light by screwing it on the holder with the included nuts. After that we can fold up the stem and lock it in place with the secure latching mechanism. We can proceed by screwing in place the front fender support arms, finishing the assembly by inserting the seat post and adding the pedals to each crank arm. With the bike assembled, we can immediately see the nice build quality. All the welds are very well made and everything seems super sturdy, with even the steering post having zero flex despite being foldable. This sturdy build quality comes with a drawback regarding weight, which is not very low for a bike of this size, coming in at about 20 kilos. This weight doesn't really bother me since it is an e-bike, and it still isn't so heavy that it's difficult to carry up a set of stairs or to put in the trunk of a car, considering also the presence of a handle which makes carrying it a breeze. I really like how compact it is. In fact, folding the stem and removing the seat post allows to easily store it in any trunk of any car, and makes it handy if you live in a small flat or have a crowded garage. Unfortunately, this bike only supports riders of up to 175 cm of height, and being 188 cm myself, I was quite uncomfortable riding it, even at the highest seat post setting. I easily solved this issue though by getting a cheap seat post extension that raised the saddle just enough to get a perfect riding position. I quite enjoy the look of this bike with the small tires that make it look like a blend between a bike and a scooter. I think you can agree with me if I say that the look is quite clean and has a bit of a fun side to it that I very much appreciate. Taking a look at the specs, this bike is powered by a 250 watts hub motor located in the rear wheel. The energy is provided by a 36 volts 7.5 Ah battery located inside the frame, and the power delivery is controlled by a full twisted throttle in the right handlebar, with also a pedal assist option made possible by the presence of this sensor around the crank axle. I quite like the simplicity of the controls. In fact, there is no screen or useless mode selector, just a button to power it on, another button to turn on or off the lights and to activate the cruise control, and the throttle with an integrated LED battery level indicator. This throttle allows you to use this bike without pedaling, and I think it is a perfect addition due to its small size and suboptimal riding position for higher riders. Cruising without pedaling will get you up to a speed of around 25 km per hour, which is not bad at all, and will provide a range on flat ground of up to 23 km. Slowing this bike down are two cable-actuated disc brakes, which really do a perfect job of quickly getting you to a stop. A bike this size really doesn't need hydraulic brakes, since the small 14-inch wheels don't apply much leverage on the 160mm brake rotors, and the cost difference between hydraulic and cable-actuated brakes isn't really worth it. The brake levers have a shut-off sensor so that the motor will stop spinning when applying the brakes. This also allows the rear brake light to turn on when pressing on the brakes, letting the traffic around you know that you are braking. This bike is a single speed, and because of that you will not be able to climb the steepest hills with it. This also makes the bike transmission basically maintenance free, so it is up to you to decide whether that's a benefit or not. The chain also has a plastic protector around it to prevent your pants from touching it and getting dirty. Above the rear wheel there is a rack that supports up to 25 kilos of load, and is plenty big to carry a shopping bag or anything else you might want to take with you. Above the rack there is obviously the saddle, which is plenty large and very soft. It also has springs below it to absorb the road vibrations, and I can say that this combination has proven to be very comfortable even when riding on the gravel cycle path and considering the lack of suspensions. Moving to the front of the bike we can find a small headlight, which gets bright enough to be able to ride at night. Both wheels are covered by fenders, which do an excellent job of keeping splashes away from you. This, together with the threaded tires, makes it possible to use the bike on wet surfaces. Riding this bike is actually quite fun. The small size makes you feel you are going faster than you actually are, and also allows for tight maneuvers. This bike is certainly not made for exploring dirt trails or going on long summer rides, but it's a perfect vehicle for short commutes to work or school, especially if you live in a fairly flat city. I can also see this bike being very handy for someone who lives in a van or a camper. Because of its small size, it can be easily stored and taken out to tackle short commutes. If you think about it, I'm sure you'll easily find a good use for this bike, and certainly the price won't hold you back from taking it home. In fact, this foldable small electric bike comes in at a price of just 459 euros, which is a very good deal if you consider all the features it has to offer. If you want to purchase it, you can find a link to it in the description below. I will see you in the next one.